Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. Today I received Happy Meal. A big smile off the postwoman. There's a Smith meal. Never mind. Anyway, I opened it up and had looked inside, and I know that it's from Helen, who lives in Devon, who I did that latest little bubble stitch cardigan for. Now Helen always pays me cash. She sends me money through the post, but she's also sent me some Happy Meal as well, which I'm grateful for the cash, because I don't have to declare it to the tax man. But anyway, I'm going to show you what she sent me. There's the card first. There's a card sending you a huge hug in a little card. That was from Helen. And it says, "Dear Sheila, I'm humbled and grateful for taking the time to knit all the beautiful cardigans you knitted for my 2 grandchildren. It was so very generous of you, and I know my daughter-in-law will love them. So thank you so much. I am sending you some big hugs your way. Stay well and stay safe. All my love, Helen." Well, thank you, Helen, for that lovely card. That's another one to put on my mantelpiece. I'll put my pen down. That's my pen I use for my tablet. I just press it and I keep forgetting to put it down when I've done that. But she's also sent me, it took me a little while to realise what these were, some crochet hooks. I'll get one out. These are crochet hooks with the cable on and a bobble on the end. And I have worked out these are Tunisian crochet hooks, which you can get the long ones with the you know, like a knitting needle thing on the end and the hook. But I never realised they came in with cables like this as well. Now, I've never done Tunisian crochet in my life, so I'm going to have to look that up and find out how you do it. I think you just keep all the stitches on the hook. After you cast the stitches, all the stitches on. I'll probably do a tutorial when I sort it out. But I think you keep all the stitches on the hook after you cast on edge. And depending how many you want, you might want a lot for a blanket. That'd be perfect for all the blanket. And you just keep all those stitches on each time as you do the crochet. You crochet and you keep all the stitches on. And you go across one way, but you come back the other way, taking those stitches off. I think that's how it works, but I'll have to have a look on YouTube and have a look at a few videos myself, because I've never done it before. So that was a big surprise, because when I opened it, I was thinking, what on earth are they? They've got little bubbles on the end. And there's, I don't know what the sizes are, whether this is a small, oh no, there's a really thin one here. This one is a 3. Well, that looks very small for a 3mm. It looks very thin. I'm sure my thin's not as thick as that. But anyway, it says 3mm. This one is a 6mm, that one. So there must be some thinner ones. They're all tangled up here, aren't they? No, that's a 6mm, so that can't be a 6mm. Oh, it's a 5. It's not very clear on the thing. It says 5. That one's a 6. 6.5. In 8mm. There's a thin one, another thin one. 4mm. That would probably be a 4.5. That one, it looks just slightly thicker than the. It's hard to see where the sizes are on them actually. Yesterday's a 4.5, that one. That one is a 9mm. You can't see the size on that one either. Oh yeah, there it is. It's sort of ingrained into the wood. I think I need a magnifying glass. Oh, it's a 5.5, that one. That is a 7mm. And this will probably be a 10, the largest one here. 10mm. Yes, that's it. So I've got those to play with. And then there was also a pack of needles. These are 36cm length. Now it's funny, these ones here, I have a set exactly the same. I'm going to show you. I bought these a little while ago, and I'll take one out and show you. That's a 7mm. These are exactly the same, except one thing. What is it? I'm going to get the parcel open now. I'm going to show you the difference. Mine are 25cm. I ordered these ones, it was a local place actually, in Whitley Bay, near where I live, where the shop was that had them in. And I never looked at the size, and I thought I was ordering the larger size needles. Only when they came, there were these little short ones. And I hate these little short ones. But I thought, oh well, they'll come in for doing tutorials and that. But I still never use them for tutorials. I use my zings practically for everything. So I use them for tutorials as well. So now I have a large size, and they never come in wrong because I have a lot of knitting things on. Sometimes I need the same size needles and have to keep taking them off one thing and putting them onto another because I've got that many things going at one time. So they are going to come in handy. The right size that I wanted in the first place. I know one or two people that use these little small ones. I might send them to them. They're very light. They're very light needles. I think they're hollow. Whatever they are, and they're very, I don't know if it tells you what they're actually made of. Proptel knitting needles. I don't know whether that's what they're made of. Made in China anyway. They're very light. They are nice to knit with, because I have tried to knit with mine. I have tried to do tutorials and that with them, but I cannot get away with the little short needles. I like longer ones, so they are going to come in very handy. So thank you, Helen. That's something. There's some people seem to know what I need, and then when I see when you get something like that by mistake, and they're no earthly good to me because I never use them. But these ones I will, because they're the right size for me. I just do not like the short needles. I can't get away with them. Even for if I'm knitting a band, like a little band like this up at my cardigan, I still use the big needles because I like one needle resting on my arm when I'm knitting. So that's my happy mail from Helen. I'm going to put that out of the way now and show you what else I'm doing. But that's something else, that Tunisian crochet. I'm going to have to teach myself that. And I have been busy. I've got my knitting. Oh, I've dropped one of those out of the bag. It's wrapped up in my wool now with a little toggle on the end. What size was that? 5mm one. Put that in there. I'm doing my little cardigan here. I have been in my garden this morning and that, and after lunch I just started. Well, after I'd been in my garden, I was absolutely knackered. I needed just to get some lunch and just sit down and do some knitting, where I might go back out in my garden later on and pull a few weeds up. But I'm showing you what I've been doing here in the meantime. I've just done a little bit more of the tutorial for this because this is a sleeve. And I've already done one sleeve. This is what I do when I do tutorials. If I'm doing the whole tutorial, I'll do the cardigan. I would do the back first, and then I would do a sleeve, but I would knit a sleeve first to get all the shaping sorted, you know, the shaping, the increasing up the sides, and then the decreasing to match so I get the decreasing to match the back, and that. So always do a sleeve first, note down exactly what I've done, and then do the tutorial for the other sleeve. So, you know, you start this one and you see this is one I did earlier. And I have also done one of the sides. When I finished this and finished the tutorial part for the sleeve, I have done one of the sides as well and worked out the shaping. This is a V-neck. So I've worked out the shaping for the armhole and the sleeve. And so I will do a bit of the tutorial for the other side, so anyone knows when they do it, you just reverse the shaping on the sleeve. So that one will be finished soon. It'll not take much longer for that one because I already have the back. So that's the back, a sleeve, and one of the fronts, and I'm onto the other sleeve. And then when I finish the sleeve, all I have to do is a tutorial for the other front. I think that's which is that one? That's the right front I've done, so I'll be doing the left front for the tutorial. And this little bit, just doing a little bit of knitting, just needed to relax after being in my garden. But I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about me in my garden. As you all know, I have a new lawnmower, which I gave my granddaughter my other one, and I bought myself a new one out of my earnings I got from YouTube last month. Well, this month really, it was this month when they paid me. No, it wasn't, it was last month when they paid me. So I put it together, but I haven't used it until today. I hadn't used it until today. Well, I set it up when I bought it, I set it up in my passage. I had all the bits in the passage and I put it all together because there was pieces you had to fit together yourself. And I had took the blade off the bottom because you get those you get little spacers to make the blade a bit lower so that you get a shorter cut on your grass. So I had to take the blade off and put the spacers on, and I did test it just to make sure it was working in my passage, and I turned it upside down so the blade was facing upwards, you know, and I just plugged it in and switched it on, and it nearly took off along the passage. But there was a reason why it nearly took off along the passage, I'm going to tell you. When I started to do I thought I've got 3 lawns, very large one, a medium size and a small one. I thought I'm going to cut all those lawns that need cutting. I think I've left the dandelions and the daisies and things long enough for the bees and that. There's plenty of other ones in my garden because I think just about every seed in the world for dandelions must have landed in my garden this year because they're just full of them. But anyway, I got the lawnmower out and sorted out, and I switched it on, and I'm not kidding you, I had a hold of the handles and I switched it on, and it was like this. My hands were shaking, my whole body was shaking. Oh God, what on earth's up with this? I can't use this. It's like a pneumatic drill. So anyway, I tried it again, and it was just the same. It was still the same. Now, God, it's going to have to go back. There must be something wrong with this thing. So just out of curiosity I turned it over and had a look underneath at the blade, and I realised why it was making that noise. When you take the blade off, you know, you have the screw, like a bolt thing that goes through the centre of the blade. Well, you get two little holes. You had a big hole in the centre for the bolt, and then there's two little ones on either side that clip onto the spacers that you've put in, that I'd put in. What I had done, I hadn't stuck the bolt back through the centre one. I had just stuck it through one of the other holes, and that was why it was shaking and it was going round, and the blade was over on one side and it was hitting the side of the lawnmower as it was going round. So that scratched on the side of the lawnmower. So I took the bolt out again, you know, got the tool you get with it, and took the bolt off again and put the bolt in the right place. So I was trying to cut my lawn, and I'm going over and I'm seeing, well, it doesn't look like it's cutting, it's just flattening the grass down. It's not going to. I had a look inside the box and there was hardly any grass inside the box, and well, what funny that, you know, it's just, that should be, you know, I mean, I've put the space, I put 3 spacers on, it should be cutting very, you know, a good bit. So I turned it over again to have another look, and you know what I had done? Those 3 spacers, instead of putting them underneath the blade, I'd put them on top of the blade. It was one of those days, and I didn't even notice when I took the bolt out the first time to put it back in the right hole, that I had the spacers on top of the but anyway, I took it off again, put the spacers in the right place and the bolt back in the right place, and used it's one of those plastic spanner things you get with the flying hovers, you know, and put tightened it back up again and started cutting the low. It was great. Back to normal, back to the way my old one was. I was beginning to think, I wish I'd kept my old one. But it cuts just as good, this one. So I got all my lawns cutting, and then, like I said, after that I just needed a rest after I'd done that. I even looked on my watch, looking at the steps I had done. I done over 1,000 steps just cutting the lawn, so that was good exercise anyway. But I used to have a dog a few years ago, and I used to take him out 3 times a day, and I was as fit as a lot when I had that dog. I could do anything. I could spend hours and hours in the garden and all that, and I've realised now it's because I'm sitting knitting all day. I never get up and go for walks or anything like that. The only time I go for a walk is when I go to the post office to post one of the cardigans or the sweaters that I've knitted. So I've realised now I'm going to have to get up and start going out for walks like I used to before I started doing all this knitting, because it's just making you unfit. But I'm getting on with a little bit knitting here, and then I will be, after tea, I will be starting on the other part of this. I've got 2 parts of Janet's cardigan done, doing one of the other sides and then the other sleeve. So that's my little bit for today, after all that hard work, and we're sitting down and enjoying the rest of the day. So thumbs up and subscribe. Bye for now. I'll catch you all another time.